Dong. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 45 of The Companion to the Companion, where Sam and I, Ian, have finally reached 1997. The famed 1997, the greatest year in the history of Phish. And we will now Potentially, maybe. We'll see. I mean, the stats
according to this list, yes.
And we were about to talk about the first show in Amsterdam in 1997. They played there in 1996. Actually, I take that back. Did they play there in 1996, Sam?
But not at this club, yes.
Not at this club. But this is the first of Paradiso.
Yes, the first of the 3 Paradiso shows in a row we're about to cover on this podcast.
And it is February 17th to 1997. Here we go.
Episode 45. We're this far in. Here we go. Yeah, our first Europe show, too. I mean, congrats to Crossing the Pond.
Yep.
And congrats to the band. I mean, these 2 Europe runs in 97 made this band. They made the new Phish. Truly, this show isn't light years beyond what we just covered in 96. But by the end of their summer 97, they are an entirely different band.
Yes.
And I am so excited to go on this journey with you and all our listeners. This is going to be great.
It is. It's so fun to listen to, and we're so lucky to have what is probably the best recording of any Phish show, I think, in their officially released catalog. I mean, New Year's 95 was pretty great, but this one is just so bright and full. Right?
All 3 of these in a row. I like this one, but the next 2, I even like a little bit more. But man, right. They were released officially as a box set, all 3 of them, in June of 2015. So it's been 10 years anniversary, another one. And I don't know. I loved the show. I really loved it, and I loved this tour. It was only 14 total shows. It was February and into the beginning of March. Mm-hmm. And the Paradiso is an old converted former church, and now it's a rock club community center. It seats about 1,500. It's got a double balcony and big stained glass windows.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you fans have been to the Paradiso. Hit us up. Let us know. Send us some photos. It looks beautiful from what I could find. Yeah. And I'm really excited to discuss the whole show. And it seemed like the band was fired up to be there too. Really great juxtaposition between tightness, improvisation, fun, good time music, but also powerful rock and roll. Like real,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were still proving themselves to a new audience, and I feel like part of why these 2 Europe tours were so great for this band is they're trying to prove themselves to a new audience, which is almost when Phish is at their best.
Right.
It's that extra push.
I totally agree with you. And you mentioned that you listened to some other shows, or at least some parts of other shows from this tour, as did I. And if you look at them, there's a lot. The set lists are very similar. They're not playing like crazy different songs like they do in America. They're kind of like, these are going to be our songs that are going to represent us. And they're kind of playing the same thing every night. They aren't stretching out for the most part. At least not excessively, although I did listen to, a stash that got way out there, and considering the location of its performance had to have been absolutely insane. And you can hear it in the audience. What this band can achieve in 14 minutes is, pretty incredible. But this Amsterdam show in particular stands out as one with some big jams, particularly this Carini, which I think kind of towers above any sort of extended jam in this short European tour here in the spring.
Yeah, they did play a good handful of songs that kind of become regulars in their repertoire. They pulled out some interesting covers, including the opener of this show. There were some strange ones too. Carini, Rocco William, Walfredo, like very, I don't know. Europe was a place for them to go explore some new ways of doing things. They got rid of the mini drum kit. They really, you can watch some videos too. I think the 216 Cologne, Germany show that's, pro shot is really fun to watch. The show itself is kind of meh, but it's really fun to watch because the band's a little scraggly, a little sloppy. They're all kind of unshaven and long-haired, and Fishman's not in the dress for the first time ever. It was great. And a couple notable things in re-listening. I don't know if you listened to 218 at all. The 2001 in that.
Uh-huh.
There's also video on YouTube. I was like just going through YouTube going, I wonder what video there is. And there's like a weird one person holding a camcorder video. It's not beautiful. But that 2001 got me. It was the second half of it was so Mike kind of falls into this. It was funk that I hadn't heard in that song yet. And it was very, very cool. Different style of funk. And I think you and I both agree that both 226 and 3-1 could easily be on this list.
Absolutely.
Easily be on this list. I mean, 226 has, I remember when we got copies of that show. I was a sophomore in college.
Right.
And I burnt those tapes out. I remember sitting in my living room in my little condo I shared with Ryan and Joe, and just wearing those tapes out. I mean, the Camel Walk opener, all the bust outs, and then that second set, which is, I mean, the Yem that we talk about I've already played it on my favorite Yems on this podcast.
Yeah. And
then I think the best Scent of a Mule that has ever been played.
Sure.
I'm obsessed with that, or one of the best. I mean, the one from Alpine this summer is also great. And then 3-1 was Slip, Stitch, and Pass.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic and has, I mean, the parts that aren't even on that album are great. So the band loved this tour.
I hate to be snarky, but I'm just going to bring it back to what I was kind of trying to get at before, is there aren't any big jams this tour except this Carini. And I think that's why these shows don't make it on the list, because they really just like looking at the set list, you're like, all right, 12 minutes, 11 minutes. But the point being, what they can do in that amount of time at this time in their career is worthy of any 20-minute jam. You just have to give it the patience and listen to it, and actually listen to the set lists that don't look all exciting necessarily.
Yeah, because they're taking the chances to play the songs differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ultimately made Phish so great in 97 was their willingness to approach a song they've been playing for 10 years at this point in an entirely different way.
Right.
Different tempos, different grooves, dissecting the little segments of the song and retweaking how they play them. And these Europe shows were where they opened the toolbox up and really started playing. And
it's wild. It's wild how different it is.
Yeah, and the audience reaction is, I mean, they're used to getting giant cheering, standing ovations for whatever they did.
Yeah.
It's the, urinating in the ears of the listener moment. And I think in Europe, that wasn't the case.
Right.
I think a lot of the Europeans were just like, whoa, this is wild.
Right.
Some of them were probably, I know my cousin was at a couple of these shows, and it's what turned him on to Phish. And I think a lot of Europeans went and saw this, and they were just like, holy shit, what is this band? I'd heard about them, but this is wild.
Except for London, because it seemed like Mojo gave them a bad review, and they were kind of like, what is this screaming cult? Which we kind of are. So I guess it depends on, whether maybe in France, they were like, ooh, we like the Freaks, but England
and Germany too.
Maybe they're a little stuffier. I'm not saying anything illegal. I don't know. But Mojo,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this, reach out. I've always been curious as to why you don't cover Phish. But anyway.
Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. Same with Pitchfork. Not big fans.
We're getting there. So yeah, I guess we could start talking about the show.
Sure.
It's in Amsterdam. I mean, do we need more
Mhm.
subcontext to that? I think, fans, there's probably Americans that are doing the European tour, lots of them. And I'm sure at this show in particular, they might be looking for something special. Does Phish deliver? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think very much deliver. I think, like you said, the first set is winning the fans over, and the second set is delivering on what they can do.
Okay.
And I think this opener, every time I hear it, gets me. I love it so much. I remember originally getting these recordings many years ago and loving it, and it still gets me every single time. Fantastic.
Soul Shakedown Party.
First Soul Shakedown party ever. And Ian and I mean, we're going to do our deep dive right at the top tonight, changing things up.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to dive into Phish reggae because they're four white dudes from New England, let's say. You can say from Vermont, but more of a New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
White dudes from New England. And there is a, contingent of white dudes from New England who are into reggae. Just like there is white dudes from New England who are into bluegrass that Phish does really well as well. So I kind of wanted to dive into some of their reggae as a way to pay homage to this Soul Shakedown party, which was the first of 14 times it was played. I kind of dug into all the Soul Shakedown parties. And this show was, I think, my favorite, but there oddly is one jam chart version that was played on February 1st of 2025.
Uh-huh.
And it was 9 minutes and 14 seconds. It was played in Mexico. And honestly, pretty cool. It was like minimalist and pretty great. I mean, here's me, like, again, loving a 3.0 Phish, but way to bring it around.
I have heard that, and it is great. I remember loving it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, the song is great. I love all the high harmonies. They do a pretty good job with reggae for four white dudes from Vermont. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are certainly no experts on reggae and probably aren't an authority on how authentic it is, but I love listening to reggae, and I love Phish reggae. And I think a lot of people really love Phish reggae because they weirdly take it super seriously. I feel like, like they're legit doing it, and they've got the groove, and they do like beautiful
the polyrhythms are on point.
Psychedelic improvisations on top of it, and the lyrics are silly, and I suppose you could always complain about that, but specifically about Soul Shakedown Party, I mean, I think the song choice deserves a conversation. So you're a Bob Marley fan. Do you know this song? I mean, I didn't know this song before Phish played it. And I was like, sounds like Bob Marley. That's a Bob Marley song? Okay. And then you had to go hunt down and find it. Like, oh, what's that on? Or was it on the box set? I can't remember at the time if that was like their way in. I just remember I found like a cheap bootleg at Tower that sounded shitty. and it was like, oh, the Phish version's better than this. So
Well, I had an older brother who, ever since high school, was really into reggae. There was a long stretch there where it was every Bob Marley, like even like the deep dive Bob Marley and Black Uhuru and Steel Pulse, and there was a lot like Peter Tosh stuff. And do you remember the whole Ego Mouse thing with Suzanne and stuff? Maybe.
Yeah, I do.
But I knew the song in it.
I still love Ego Mouse.
I thought that was really
bong, gang, gang, gang.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great version, and it was really cool when they played it, and you can feel just the love in the. I guess the core of Phish's reggae is truly about either we're having a stony good time or we're wrapping the audience in a warm hug. And I should limit this to Phish reggae covers. I won't get into Makasupa, and I just wanted to have a broader discussion on their covers because really, beyond the once off, there were 3 reggae covers done once. And then there's 3 reggae covers that they've done more often, but still rarely. So Soul Shakedown was 14. Have Mercy was 17 times. But that, I mean, I'm taking all the teases out of here. The first one was 86 and the last one was in 2020. And there were 4 in a row on the list, starting in 93 to 94. So Have Mercy came up at some really great shows and then kind of took a long dive. And I thought the 10/20 2010 Live in Utica one, again, was sick.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that one? Live in Utica DVD one? I hadn't listened to that in forever, and I re-listened to it, and wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I was impressed. Maybe I'm turning over a new 3.0 leaf here.
Well, they do some things very, very well in 3.0. Yeah, and reggae is one of them. Yeah, they played. I mean, all the reggae in 3.0 is fantastic. I mean, you saw the Night Nurse.
Smoked. Yeah, I mean, we can get into that specific show because it was the Night Nurse, the Once Ever, and also Mellow Mood.
Right.
Which Mellow Mood was played 10 times. And I feel a weird close connection to that because the first time was in Vegas in 2000.
Right.
I'll play your favorite song, darling. We can rock it all night long, darling. 'Cause I've got love, darling. Love, sweet love.
And we just discussed that in our Vegas episode, and I was in a place where I needed a little warm hug, and I got it. And then I hadn't seen them in 10 years, and my first show back, boom, it was Mellow Mood again.
Right.
And then Night Nurse as well. Like it was just special. That show rocked too, that Manchester show. So I'm a little sad I just missed them there last week.
Yeah, it was a good show too.
everyone's saying the greatest show they've ever played. Those 3 nights, best bands ever.
I mean, there's some good stuff, but yeah.
It seems like
course,
they're playing a great tour this tour.
Why do you have to say best? Please stop, people.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah. I just think it's great. I'm so happy the band's still playing good. So yeah, Mellow Mood was 10 times, Night Nurse was once, and then it's just Trenchtown Rock and Legalize It both once. Did you see that Dick's 2013? Were you there?
I sure did. And not only was I there, at the time I had an iPod. What do we call them? iPods? Yes, iPods, where I like downloaded all my iTunes on it. And it was like a full, 160 gig was like the full one.
Yeah.
And so it had like however many thousand songs on it. And Susie and I were driving around Colorado in our rental car, and I had it on the full iPod shuffle. So it was shuffling all these songs. The first song that it played in the morning when we got in the car that day was Legalize It. So I put on the shuffle for the whole iPod, played Legalize It. And later that night we went to the show and they played Legalize It. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying if you were me, you probably would have been pretty excited.
This is how Phish works.
Yeah.
This is how Phish works in our life.
Yeah.
Don't criticize it. Legalize it. Yes, I will advertise it.
I mean, there's the way external music weaves itself into our lives around Phish as well. Like, I'll never forget the day that Beastie Boys album came out in 98 and you woke up in the morning in Portland and went to the Tower Records that we had driven by down the street and bought it and brought it back, and we listened to it nonstop on that drive.
Yeah.
And like that album will always remind me of that, of seeing like driving between those two Phish shows.
Right.
And I love that album and it can exist on its own, but for me that moment was burned into an existence with, Phish. They're two rails next to each other.
Yeah, that's true. I have a lot of
great.
memories.
I love that, and I love that was the one. I like when they one-off stuff. I mean, we're about to get to the summer of covers in 98 here too, where every night was something fun.
Totally.
And then the Trenchtown Rock was really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It was
the
fun covers.
That opens the summer of covers night, like that was what they did a lot.
And they played 2 covers that night, Time Loves a Hero as well.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting off track here. But back to the reggae.
We should get back into Amsterdam.
Well, I do want to say about this whole Shakedown Party, I mean, really, the band is getting comfortable as a band. They're very confident. I think they feel like they've broken through this sort of 95, 96. There is this sort of like, Mike's figuring it out. They're coming into it. Trey has a confidence. This is the first song where we have soul coming into the equation. Who chose this? Is it Trey that chose this song? And was soul a part of the reason? Could we have predicted what would come next?
I don't know.
It's wild how much that guy loves soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I have a favorite number, 24. I have like certain words that I like to use a lot, but it's almost like he has consciously decided that this word is going to be synonymous with the band at this point.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
it's also like his obsession with water and waves and, it's but
that technically goes with the band name, so I'm gonna forgive that.
But to live that blessed life of like, you're now a guru, right?
That's true.
You're able to shape people's outcomes of their day,
right,
through what you do. And some people, can go to. We don't want to go down this avenue too far here, but some people can go to church. Some people go, like for me, the ocean does that for me in certain ways, but Phish shows do that. They're a coming together to experience a group catharsis of love and happiness, and to open a show in Amsterdam where the crowd is probably a very high percentage in an altered state of some kind with this kind of song is just amazing. It's amazing. It's the right choice.
Yeah.
It's smart. It's well executed. The vocals are on point, even those high vocals, and it's quick and easy. And then boom, it's Divided Sky. I mean,
Right.
come on. Yeah, you couldn't have a better show opener, especially in Amsterdam. Beautiful.
No, definitely not. I completely agree. It's the perfect opener to any show. I've seen a show open with Soul Shakedown Party, and it's fantastic.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just is such a happy, silly choice. I don't know why it's silly, but there's just something about the da-na-na-na. Like, it is kind of like a light reggae song.
It's got like a kid's song kind of vibe, maybe.
Right. Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
great. Divided Sky. What did you think, Sam?
I like this one.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought this is where this set did a little push and pull
Mm-hmm.
between gentle and really energetic and grinding. And this song kind of split between those two in a really nice way.
Yeah. I also loved it.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
So much so that I think if I'm choosing a Divided Sky to play for somebody that's never heard Divided Sky,
Yeah.
this might be on this would be on a short list, and I would have to
Yeah,
reconsider.
it sounds so good.
But yeah, it sounds so good, and there's something about when just it's soaring that it just the way it just the sound cuts is just so perfect, and it is perfectly played, and they play it at a clip. It's got a nice it's upbeat. It moves. It doesn't drag, and yeah, really perfect. And yeah, what a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, they're really proving themselves still.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Phish having to prove themselves is such a good Phish. Just that's kind of why I was telling you, like, I wish they would do that Rolling Stones thing where they played big arenas and then they played tiny clubs, because I just want to see some tiny club shows. I want to see them in a little stage, like having to light that room up.
Right. It is interesting.
These were the tours to miss, sadly.
Yeah. Well, we saw some good ones. It is interesting how to them proving themselves is sort of like playing the perfect set list played perfectly with the right energy and flow, but not necessarily connected to jams. In fact, jams at this point is something they do when they're comfortable.
Yeah, possibly.
Not when they're trying to prove themselves.
And yeah, that Divided Sky, I think we both agree. Winner. And then into, as I was saying before, like it's some serious rock and roll with this Wilson and intent and power. Trey's really getting after it. It's great.
He is. Have you noticed a trend of we're getting a lot of Wilsons on this list? I feel like Wilson is a song that we're always discussing. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice way for the band to just let loose. And I really like, as we get into soon here, there are some jammed out Wilsons that are fantabuloso.
Yeah, we've already talked about one, I mean, not jammed out, but we've talked about some that, break out of the box.
Yeah. I always like it. Always do. Clapping makes me happy. The chanting, like all of it is just exciting. And good version. And then, is this the first My Soul? Soon, close to first?
Yeah.
Somewhere in this week.
Right.
I don't know. I could take or leave this song. What are your thoughts on My Soul all around?
Good
well, version, but...
yeah. I mean, I think from what I gather, it's fairly reviled. Again, with the soul. Here we are again. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about this when I brought that up before.
But you're right. Absolutely.
Here we are with another soul song. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I love that R&B. It's like a Blues Brothers number. So, I mean, is the my favorite? No, it's not my favorite. But I do love Page's contributions, and I love the rollicking R&B once it goes. And certainly anytime I've ever seen it, I'm dancing my butt off when it's happening. So no big complaints. But yeah, it's just kind of riding the piggyback of the Wilson energy. And then we get to Gaiuti.
Yeah, which I wrote well played version, and you had something that in your notes you can't read, which means you must have really liked it.
Yeah,
that happens to me all the time.
Well, I also wrote Trey going off in composed section.
Yeah,
and note in composed section, which is kind of what you were talking about before at this era. Where it's just not necessarily about the jam, but there's just like crazy shit happening everywhere, all over the song at all times.
Yeah, we've had this talk a lot where I think the Phish I want to hear is where they're so on top of it that they're micro improvising or micro creating little moments of space to be different within their compositions is when Phish is my favorite. And I do love the jams. And I know... a lot of what I read in reviews of shows now is there were some bad notes. The tempo was a little weird on this song, but man, the jam instantly fell into this gorgeous space and it was incredible. And I loved that. Like we just saw them at the Sphere and that's what it was. I thought the composed sections of those songs were like 5 out of 10 for the most part.
Right.
And the improvising was 11 out of 10 for the most part.
Right.
And it wasn't about solos. It was about the band having so much shared time and these big ears and being able to improvise in these ways as a collective that are unheard of in this style of music. But I would choose this Phish over that Phish if I had my druthers.
Right.
I guess.
At this moment in time. We'll see, folks. I think one day, we're going to get them. I listened to some of the very new stuff. I listened to the 40-minute jam. And yeah, I mean, as always, I'm just like, I don't even know how to, it's so crazy. Like, I don't even know how to review it, but I am starting to see a structure to it. I can kind of see like how they're getting from one place to the other on these similar type of jams that keep occurring. And it's just about, but I mean, they've always kind of done that. They're just doing it at a larger scale and with such thick sound and such thick soundscapes that, I really want them to get into doing soundtracky stuff. Anyhow, let's get back to the show.
Timber Ho.
Yeah, we have already discussed this Timber Ho in a previous episode where we discussed greatest Timber Hos. And because this Timber Ho is fire. What do you got, Sam?
It was nice to have the dark back. Like this set really has a lot of stylistic diversity. It really does. If you look through each song, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
And this brought the darkness, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right mid-set, you kind of want some heavy. I just love Fishman's work in all these Timber Hos too. I could just listen to him on, mute everyone else at times. It's amazing. albums. It was great.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
And then we get to Billy Breeze here. You first.
When I got these tapes, the thing I remember the absolute most from this set was the Soul Shakedown opener, and then this Billy Breeze for some reason. I think this is like the first real live one I remember having a recording of.
Right.
And hearing how it diverged from the album version that I loved. And it was great. I mean, it was pretty cool. I don't know. What did you think?
I found it to be very moving. Yeah, I do. I think it is really great.
Yeah.
I'm not one to say, best necessarily, although I'm I'm a huge hypocrite. I'm sure I say it sometimes. But but this is really a something version. I wouldn't normally be like, oh yeah, Billy Breeze is a song you want to see live. I love it. The studio version is incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
But live it can be a little off, especially of vocals, and something about the way it is in this room, it just really connected with me, and I thought it was beautifully played. Trey's guitar really soars in this room, and Fishman's accentuations and him staying with them the whole time, and it's really crisp in the recording. Yeah, it's great. This 1-2 punch of even 3 punch of the Gaiudi timbre Billy Breeze for mid-second set is pretty special.
Yeah, no, I also, when I think about in Denver in 97, we saw the first Farmhouse.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite Farmhouse I ever saw.
Right.
I think Billy Breathes may have suffered from being so good on the album and the band was working so hard because it's not an easy song.
Oh.
The solo, the way it works over the chords, and Trey's really trying to do a unique melody, and it comes through in this one. There's a couple little moments, but
Right.
I love the melodic finish to this version.
Right.
And it does fail a lot in the future. And I feel like Farmhouse kind of did the same thing where when we saw it in Colorado, it had the watery,
Yeah.
washy, kind of swooshy.
Is that the?
You know, we had
yeah.
seen it on Conan too, but
Yeah.
and then it changed. It just became a guitar solo eventually, and I didn't like it as much.
Oh, if I could rubber stamp that comment any harder and with a bigger red stamp, I couldn't say it. You've said it so perfectly. Bring back the watery farmhouses.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you know, evolution is you're just tripping over your own dick. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could like back it up a little bit.
We've got enough guitar solos.
Just like in Nanook of the North, you know? Careful. Careful when you're walking.
But yeah, the end of this is just like, yeah, it's really moving. It's really powerful. And it just kind of like finishes up with that, just, and then bam.
Yeah.
That llama hits.
I just wrote back to shredding. That was like Wilson again, where it did the same thing. It was just like ripping llama. So good.
Propulsive, undeniable Mike. We're starting to see Mike. Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it a couple times, but we're like, whoa, listen to Mike wrangle that llama.
This and then the summer tour, like it really defined Mike Gordon. And then when he arrived, when they retook the shores of America in 97, it was a new Phish, and I think in many ways propulsed by Michael Soft G. Gordon for sure. Yeah. And yeah, great in this llama. I really enjoyed it. And then the perfect shift to Bathtub Gin. Like you want to bring it down a little bit, but keep kind of the energy going and the dancing. And, you know, it stays in the box, but wow. Yeah. I loved it. Pretty great. I'd take this every day. Again, if you were going to play someone a Bathtub Gin.
Right.
You don't always want to do the weird ones or the long ones, or this would be great.
Yeah. It's
nice tempo, good groove.
I did really enjoy it. I might edit a couple minutes out, but yeah, it's just a cruise in Bathtub Gin. Yeah, I think if anything, maybe it suffers in comparison to some of the gins around it. But yeah, it's like as just like a mid first set, just it's really great. It has like a real freight trainy kind of like you're getting on it. Like I said, like a cruising freight train though. But it's like once it gets going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Yeah, a little bit like the Dead does, which was really cool and I enjoyed it. Trey, you know, couldn't help himself with the feedback a little bit. But I loved the ending, like the last few seconds.
It worked its way back around really nicely.
Yeah, the last 20 seconds are just so great. And then Golgi to finish it off. Old school Golgi.
Perfect closer. And this again, they're trying to win this audience over.
It's huge.
You can feel it.
I mean, I think every time we've talked about a Golgi, we're like, it's huge. Because that's what Golgi does live, is it gets huge. But the peak at 3:36 of this Golgi, mark my words, it's hype, bro. Check it out.
Yeah. Well, it's like me when I was a kid, like 93, 94 in high school. Like I used to blast Golgi in my car, like the couple live versions I had, because it just gets you. Yeah. And I used to play it for people, be like, "How do you guys not love this band? Oh my god!" Like those were. It wasn't the 20-minute tweezers. It was this, you know. Right. And they're still trying to do it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Scraggly European Phish, killing it. And then that's it, set 1, and we move on to set 2, which, you know, we get some headphones, we get the big stuff, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to discuss this set.
Okay, let's do it. Coil, starting it off. Oh, go ahead.
What do you think about a Squirming Coil opener? I mean,
yeah. You know what? I liked it in this case. I think it's a case-to-case scenario, but I do like that the whole first set was like, it was rocking. They're proving themselves. And we had a little bit of a ballad in Billy Breeze, even though it got a little, intense at the end. and then they're kind of going to show their softer side to open it up. And I think perhaps if it was a squirming coil and it was a quick squirming coil and it segued into something else, I'd be like, what's the point? But I like that this was like a complete 10-minute Page solo. It was like the full deal. It's kind of like a statement piece. Like, so here's the opening statement piece. And then after they finish that, then they're going to play the set. And then the Down with Disease to the end of the show is more of a cohesive piece. This is very separate. Did that answer your question? I don't know.
Well, I was wondering, it raised another, in that if they were to open with something a little bigger and rockin' and then do Squirming Coil, would they have had kind of the weight on their shoulders when they hit Down with Disease to be bigger and more exciting? Because the Squirming Coil, the composed section had a couple flubs. It felt a little loosey-goosey. Maybe there was a little bit of, substance out back. I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, like being a musician going on stage, a tiny bit of that really focuses you, and it's great.
Right.
You want to go a lot, but a little, just a tiny bit.
Sure.
Really would focus you and get you going. But you could miss a note or two while you were still finding your space.
Sure.
And maybe that was what happened here, because Page's solo is gorgeous. There's some great band interplay leading into it.
Yeah.
And then his solo is beautiful. And then that transition from the coil into the Down with Disease was awesome.
Yes.
Big fan of how that worked.
Yeah.
I think that's where this show, like, I liked it up to here. But that transition is kind of where it clicked in for me, where this run through, the rest of the show is just great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And it's tight, like quick and tight. It feels short. It's not, but it feels like it flies by because it's moving. It's always,
it does fly by.
We'll get into the jam.
I agree.
So much happened. So you want to re-listen. And then, the Down with Disease, I guess it's pretty standard.
It is standard.
The first 8 minutes is nothing.
Right.
But then it's weird because they kind of they hit one staccato note around then, and it changes the tempo and the feel from a standard Down with Disease. And then there's a unique kind of 8 bars in there. And then 13-ish, it falls into a really, really cool groove again. And Trey has a really great theme. And then 16-ish, it kind of breaks down. There were multiple sections through this first Down with Disease. I know it doesn't get a headphones till the Carini, but the back half of this Down with Disease was great.
It is great. I don't know that I would give it a headphones because there's just so many big Down with Diseases, and how many headphones
that makes sense.
But especially in juxtaposition to the Carini. But that being said, I do want to read my notes in juxtaposition to yours because they're so funny. We were just a couple minutes. You went 8 minutes. I went 10 minutes. You went 13 minutes. I went 15 minutes. But yeah, it was essentially the same thing. 10 minutes. All right, here we go. Territory. 15 minutes. We get some funk, and then 15 minutes. There's a little bit of hose if that's your thing. Yeah, whatever. So
when it breaks down, at the end before the Carini, as it kind of breaks down into Carini, that part was really great.
Yeah.
And this was, we can talk about Carini. It's not really a song ever, but it definitely wasn't at this point.
No.
Yeah, it's an inside joke with the Pete Carini, the band's drum tech, and that's all this was. It was kind of like Meat Stick,
maybe, I guess.
Joke.
No. That's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And they kind of worked it into a song as a springboard into a jam in the future, but at this point it was fledgling structure at best.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because I don't know, the next 15 minutes after it was just insane.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Well, I said from the moment Fishman's crazy drum beat comes in at 3:20, we're no run for a good ride. We're about to take off. And again, I was using the train analogy. I guess it was my brain, but really, it starts gaining speed. It starts kind of subtly, kind of taking off. Especially from they're doing these fun vocal contributions. There's a lot of yelling, or I don't know, quite yelling, but just sort of
ah! Yeah. I love so much when they add that. Big fan.
Yeah. And then Trey's just got this mild liquidy filter on through this whole section that I just can't get enough of. I love it. that's like up until 6 minutes, and then I say that's where we get into the real hose. Should I be apologizing for using the word hose? I just feel like it's,
No,
for
it's
natural.
great.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like so good. It kind of makes like the good parts of Down with Disease seem like child play. Like I like the stuff in Down with Disease, and I'm like, oh man, they're really clicking. But then when they're really clicking in the Carini, I'm like, oh, they're like really clicking now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, there are some moments in there that are, and Fishman is just playing at a punishing pace, right? He's just like, what?
See, I guess instead of hose, the way that I think about it a lot is instead of like a sustained stream of water, it's these sheets of sound. It's more like a sprinkler going rather than like a one constant.
Totally.
So maybe that's, I'm just, my descriptor alarm goes off a little with hose. I understand the Santana background and stuff, but I feel like there's a lot of that in this section where there's just these big they're playing with sound in a way that bands don't do,
right?
And they're finding these new things, and they're the part that there was this insane loop groove that I loved, and I just wrote insanity in here with the underline, but then around like 16 minutes I said that it's underwater Phish, and it's so much of their sound going forward feels like this is where they found it. You dig so far and so deep, and you're mining this thing, and when you get there, it's just amazing.
Right.
You find the diamond in the center of the earth, and I loved it. I loved it so much. The later period of this Carini pre-taste was just amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite, I guess, same with the Down with Disease, where the end was my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of kept getting better. But like within all this insanity, they kept finding these weird, like, cool pockets of like jammy Phish
like
that you're
mini
like,
grooves.
Yeah, you're like, what is this? What is this? Like, there was a part around 12 minutes where Trey is like looping, and
I wrote that down too.
And Paige and Fishman are like doing this harumph. Like this harumph with this looping, and the juxtaposition of it is like so silly, but it works so good. And then you're like, oh man, this is genius. But yeah, I mean, about 10 minutes into this Carini, you have to be awestruck by the band's commitment to just like level the audience. Like you say, like they do seem to be conscious of like, all right, let's knock them down, boys.
And I mean, listeners, I'm gonna probably find a way to edit some aspect of some of this into this recording here for the podcast, but please just go, like, of the things in this show, if you just listen to this Carini, you will even skip 3 minutes if you really feel like it, but you are going to love life. It's fantastic. It's worth your time, and the recordings are, look for the official ones. They're worth it. It sounds great.
Right.
Deserve it of headphones, A+, absolutely. And then it transitions into Taste.
Yeah.
And I thought, well executed Taste. I was thinking
Sure.
for a minute, like, why is this really where we're going to go? Like, the Taste was good, but then the second headphones here was given to, what is it, like 2-minute reprise.
Right.
But holy shit. The way Taste goes back to Down with Disease is just unreal. Like, one of the best transition segues I've ever heard them do. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, because there's
so
a
good.
part of me that wants to be mad that they're abandoning Taste, but at the same time, the segue out is, and you know what? I think it was justified and it was the right decision, and it is awesome. I do want to just poke back to the Carini real quick. There's a start-stop jam. No woos.
No woos.
There could have been.
Don't even know what those are at this point. And
But
it's a better world without knowing.
Oh, that's harsh. But we'll get to it in a little bit. But in the Caspian, there's a section in the beginning, like in the kind of when it's building silently in the beginning, the audience starts clapping when they're like, "Oh, this is a clap along section in Caspian." I haven't heard that before. So kudos to the Amsterdam audiences. I like your style.
Well, they had to have been feeling it by the Caspian. I mean, come on.
So I have a couple things to say about the Taste.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like so close. We're like really getting there. It just like Split Open and Melt. Well, I don't know, not just like Split Open and Melt. I think Split Open and Melt had its like early flower, and then they figured out this other thing, and it had a second flower, and then it keeps evolving. But Taste really has been sort of like they're working towards perfection, and it's been a fun adventure getting there with them. I went back and I listened to the 12/2/96 America West and Phoenix Taste. And it's over 10 minutes, and it is spectacular, but it is also not quite there. Like Mike doesn't quite have the rhythm section, hasn't figured it out, but Trey, whoo, you want to listen to some crazy Trey, go back and listen to that 12/2/96 Taste.
Well, 97 is the year of Taste.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, once we get to summer 97, this is what I like to say about a 97 Taste, because this is like one of my favorite things about Phish. And since we're talking about 97 Tastes, and we're almost there, I have this like Rocky analogy, or Creed, if you will, of You're of the Generation. But there's always this scene in the final fight when, the band's kind of, or Rocky, that is, or Creed, has gotten the shit beat out of them. And they're just falling down. They can barely stand up. And then all of a sudden they get this final wind, this fourth or fifth wind or whatever it is in the movie. And then they just start pummeling their opponent to the point where it's just punch after punch after punch. And the opponent falls down and you get the bird swirling around the head. This is exactly what a 97 Taste can do to you. And you don't have to deal with the lifelong injuries. You just listen to a song. Yeah, you're not really
you shouldn't be driving or operating heavy machinery. That makes sense. But yes, short of that, you're fine.
But it's one of my favorite songs of theirs because it really does just, and not in a swirly, overwhelming Split Open and Melt or Antelope kind of way. It is a very rhythmic and calculated punch fest. That kind of goes from one side to the next. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And and I'm just getting so excited to talk about these tastes. And this one could have got there, but maybe not. So I think they jumped ship before they could find out. But we're just a few short shows away.
Yeah,
the magic happening.
Yeah, we're very close. And that was my original thought was, wait, they're gonna pull out of this taste? This is weird. But then it was fine. The smile it created on my face was worth it all. It was magical. I was laughing out loud.
Yeah, for sure.
Like truly, like what band can do this?
And people really love when you come back to when you sandwich it.
Yeah, and that's what made you realize, like, was that 5 minutes when they were still playing Down with Disease, or was that an hour? I can't even tell. It was weird. You were in a time warp. It was wild stuff. This is the new Phish we're moving into here, where it's going to be less songs and more, how are we going to parse these improvs? How are we going to timestamp and talk about the details and find new words to describe the experiences of listening to this stuff? And they are soundscapes. They're moving, like you said earlier, that this new Phish should do soundtracks. I agree in that they were just touching the surface here of what they will be, 40 years from this point, which is where they're headed now.
Right.
And it's so cool to see, and it's so fun to watch them and listen to them going through this again and sifting through it and hearing them figure it out.
Yeah.
And not be we're going to hook on this one melodic phrase and then we're going to build on that and we're going to do this and we're going to be tension release. And now they're like, we are going to find all new types of music based on all the things we listen to and love in our lives and create something absolutely new. And it's incredible. I'm really, really, like, the next two shows we're going to discuss are that personified.
Yeah.
I think they are some of the best snapshots of this band, not just doing it, but absolutely owning deep improvisation and many, many songs in a show. And
right.
In a way that now I think, yes, everyone wants to run to the long jams, but Amsterdam here I am so excited to live here.
Yeah, so we're doing the 3 in a row here. We're going to be doing this Amsterdam show, 217, and the next two will be 7-1 and 7-2. And we'll be traveling to Wormtown, which is a subsection of Amsterdam, as you'll learn.
Yeah, I mean, just that ghost and that stash and that, I'm just so, like, I know them so well, but I'm excited to sort of re-listen to some of the parts I usually skip.
Right. Speaking of something
just
to
a
skip.
Sound. Oh.
Sorry, I tried to transition back into the show. We have a Susie Greenberg next, which is perfectly fine, but easily the most skippable thing in the whole show, right?
My note's perfect. It says, okay, glad that they put this one down for a few years. Dick response, but that's what I felt like after the Down with Disease ended. I was like, really?
Yeah, I actually think I would have preferred to just remove it if I could. I mean, I don't know, or maybe put it after the Caspian.
Give me Sample in a Jar and then Caspian. I don't know. Sure. Give me something else.
Yeah.
If you want to calm us down and then do Caspian, that's fine.
Look, I don't hate Susie, and if it's got a cool aspect to the jam, I'm all for it. But this one was just pretty standard. And then we get the Caspian. 8 minutes and 18 seconds, it says here on Live Phish. I gotta say, I think it got into some pretty dope space. I'm trying to use the hip lingo today, sorry. And was listening with Susie in the car, and she wanted me to pass on that she loved it. Anyway, I mean, I guess if you listen to this podcast, Sam and I are unabashed Caspian lovers. This was a great version.
Yeah, two things. I did enjoy it. I thought the peak was a bit botched, but it sounded great. I really enjoyed it. Two, I was just listening to the recent episode of the Lonely Island podcast, and they were talking about an episode in the show they were discussing that got cut after Dress. And it was basically just Bill Hader. There were people in the cast coming out wearing sunglasses, and he was like, hey, there's Jim. Jim's wearing some wraparound Oakleys and a pair of, a Stetson hat. Jim, looking dope. And the whole skit was just called Guys in Sunglasses Looking Dope. And every one of them, hey, looking dope. And so, yes, you are hip with the lingo, I think. That's what the kids say.
I'm trying.
That's what the kids are all saying. But no, very, very good Caspian. Really nice way to end the set. I really imagine that in a small club like that too, just being amazing and powerful. And the peak being botched it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And I thought the future Caspians, I think Trey kind of learns how to be chordal and solo with multiple chordal notes rather than singular notes.
Oh.
And at this point, there were a lot more kind of singular notes in the build,
Yeah.
which made it feel more solo-y rather than the whole band lifting it up.
Right.
But I still think it was great. He was excited, and sometimes, man, when the feeling gets you, you got to go. This was the too many notes that Mike complains about it.
Right.
But it was still great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And what do you think about? I mean, it's the classic encore, but bit of a letdown.
Yeah. 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 It
So
wasn't it wasn't
it's
the best
coil
Sleeping
through
Monkey.
Down with Disease, and then you stop.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Or
I mean, not bad.
If you're a Caspian fan, check it out. But
yeah, not bad. Not bad.
But yeah, the encore you can skip. I love a great Sleeping Monkey. This necessarily wasn't a great Sleeping Monkey.
No, it was not.
Yeah. So, and then the Rocky Top was just Rocky Top.
It was good. It was fine. I mean, if these were both over the top stellar versions, I wouldn't be saying just whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
But if we look at these shows, it's weird. Like, I remember when the box set came out, you're listening to the shows, you kind of skip around a little bit. But then when you go and listen to them all the way through, this Sleeping Monkey Rocky Top exists between this Caspian and then an insane opener from the next show.
Right.
So it's a real juxtaposition there that you almost just want to jump right over that. Not in a bad way. Just
that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. They were months apart, but and the band had advanced their sound. But this February March tour, really, like, I didn't go back and listen to every show. I kind of selected moments that I listened to, and I very, very, very much enjoyed every one of them.
Right.
It's such a different band.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like looking at the shows around it, and then you had kind of mentioned 3-1 and 226 as shows that are just as worthy. So definitely check those out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and interesting. I hate to get back to taste. Why am I so obsessed with taste? But
That's okay. Great song.
The Slip, Stitch, and Pass has a taste as well. And again, it's kind of like this one where you're like, it's almost there, but it's not quite there. And I guess what was
you got to get to the summer. It's fine.
Yeah. We can wait. I'm chomping at the bits. And yeah, a lot of these Europe shows, their versions on re-listen sound quite good. So don't be afraid to delve into the old audience tapes.
Yeah, smaller clubs, and they do sound really good. That 218 show was really fun. I listened to a bunch of it, and you can go to YouTube and watch a decent amount. It's not beautiful video, but the audio's fine, and the band's having a great. It's a little club. Wow, I mean, think about 97 Phish in these tiny little places,
I know,
and how the band themselves seem a little. They're proud of what they're doing and they're focused on their work, but they're a little sheepish. It's weird that What He's So Cologne Germany show that was officially released. You can watch the whole thing is strange. It's strange to watch that video. Their band seems, I don't know. It's a weird thing. People should go watch some of it. They're playing fine. Mm-hmm. But they seem shy and sheepish. It's weird.
Well, it is interesting. They're, something I think about with art in general, is that a lot of people are very sensitive to art that expects a lot out of you. And Phish's art expects a lot out of you, and it's bold. And I feel like I don't want to use the word pompous, but it is kind of like pompous, and it like takes a lot of fucking confidence to think that this music, like, I'm going to play this 15 minutes, I'm going to play this 12-minute song, and I want you to pay attention to the whole thing. And I think it takes a certain type of, like, gall to do that. And I feel like we made them feel very comfortable in America. Like, it just sort of like they started in this college circuit, and just for some reason their attitude just connected with us. And Europe, I think, is just very different. And it's like they're going into this land. And I kind of wonder how they feel about, like, putting themselves out there. And I think that's probably what we're feeling in these early European tours, like in '96, too. Now that I'm thinking about it, they did play Amsterdam in '96, and they really,
Yeah,
it,
that was
they
the
got
bad
they
show.
got a they got a little too.
It was the art. It was an
Yeah.
art piece, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, they got a little too Amsterdam. But yeah, I think
Well-
just the audiences will change. It's such a living thing what they do. And they say the way the audience interacts with them and changes the music. And I feel like we can hear that in the Europe performances, and that the shows are just different.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
really
like
cool.
comedians have talked a lot about that too, where there are certain areas of Europe that when you go play there, the audiences are really different.
Right.
They don't applaud the same way. They have a really different way of showing their appreciation for the work you're doing.
Right.
And then there's some comedian like Bill Hicks who's like, I should just live in England. They love me over here. But he also talks shit on the English in his own special way because that was Bill. But
Right.
I think music's probably the same way, where like some musicians love it over there.
Right.
You know, it seemed like in that like British explosion in both the 60s and then again in the 90s, there was a real desire for rock and roll and screaming fans and excitement, but there can be a buttoned up kind of posh nature to a lot of European audiences, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fish
I
is
think-
Fish is not buttoned up. Like, I feel like they're
No.
really loose and goofy. And
Yeah.
I guess that's my fear, is that, or not fear, but I just my thought is maybe they, a lot of Europeans were like, what is this American shit?
Yeah, what is this?
And you know what?
It's possible.
You're not wrong. So what else we have to talk about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm excited to be in this Amsterdam stretch. I'm excited to be doing this podcast with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, life is it's summer. It's hot. I
Mm-hmm.
love summer. I love hot. I'm spending a lot of time outdoors again, which feels good. New
Right.
England in the winter really drags me down.
Right.
And yeah, I guess that's it.
Hey, do you think there's any badminton companies that would want to sponsor our podcast? Because we love badminton so much. We could talk about our love for it and the products we use. Let's look into that. Let's get a spot.
Should we have long dialogue about shuttlecock preferences? You know, like which
Yeah,
I just got some new ones, and
me too. I just ordered a
as a-
30-pack because the kids keep hitting them on the roof.
I got two 8-packs for my wife for her birthday. 'Cause
Nice.
This is what one does for her birthday present.
Yep.
We had whites before, and these ones are like a hot glow, like day glow yellow,
Mm-hmm.
and they move real well. But it's it's taken me a minute visually. So I don't know.
Guys, Sam and I are both wearing very similar gray T-shirts right now. We both have a little bit of facial hair, and we're wearing glasses. We both
Nice.
recently bought packages of neon yellow shuttlecocks.
Yes.
And we both love fish. We've got some stuff in common.
Yeah. And we didn't plan any of this either. Beyond the fish part.
But you're
'Cause
going to buy
do this.
shuttlecocks. Why are you not buying neon yellow? Why would you not buy neon yellow?
I just had a conversation with my eldest an hour ago, 2 hours ago, I guess now, about. They looked at me and said, "Hey, would you like to go outside and play?" Because I'm always just
Yeah.
looking over and going, "Some badminton," and they're always like, "Yep."
Yeah.
And they looked at me and like, "Badminton," and it's pitch black outside. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? What we got to do is we got to get some glow in the dark.
Yeah, and they have them. LED shuttlecocks.
Yeah, I guarantee they do. And we could just go outside. I mean, we're in mosquito hell right now.
Right.
But we could just go outside and brave 5 minutes of glow. Like, that sounds like
Yeah.
a night for me.
No, yeah. In fact, we have like a glow in the dark basketball, and when my kids first got that and we were like playing with it in the dark, I'm like, this is like the coolest
Guys.
children's toy I've
Guys.
ever seen before.
Yeah,
The
I'm not going to tell you
tracers.
the future. Yeah.
Anyhow.
And that sound that the racket will just make.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
It's
you
such a
see the vibration
satisfying-
off.
Yeah.
and then those ones that wiggle just right when you hit them and they get that little. Blah, 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 blah. It'd be beautiful at night. So yeah, that's in my future.
Underrated band, Phish. Underrated sport, badminton.
Minton.
Okay.
We need team names. So when we see you next, we're gonna have a family on family Minton off
Oh boy, you're gonna win.
because this will be 4-on-4. These are big teams, but we got this.
Yeah.
You just put the little ones in the front.
little ones. Yeah. So they move backwards and then hit my chin when they're trying to. Yeah, we'll work it out.
Of course.
We'll have all the first aid kit stuff. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for episode 45, our first of our trio of Amsterdam episodes. The trilogy, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Well, take care till the next one. Enjoy that Carini. Sam?
Yeah, I feel like for these next ones, we almost record two versions where one we're us and the other one we're just super high.
Bro, we're going to use all the lingo. Okay.
I just want to get in the right Amsterdam space. Because this one, yeah, but the next two, oh man. All right.
Okay. Well, till next time.
Bye, everybody. Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companiontothecompanion@gmail.com. Oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been. Working towards it.